From exploration comes knowledge, and from knowledge, freedom.
Welcome, fellow Dickinsonians, to the 2007 Alumni Weekend opening ceremony. Now, before I begin, thank you. Before I begin, I'd like to point out to you, someone already mentioned this, I've mentioned it, but I am wearing the new Dickinson Converse high-top sneakers given to me by the students last year. These are now worn by our tour guides. Let me demonstrate. They have absolutely no art support, just in case you're wondering. Nevertheless, Alumni Weekends are very special occasions. These annual events give us the opportunity to return to our alma mater to reconnect with old friends and relive the memorable events and turning points that marked our years at Dickinson. Alumni Weekend also allows us to experience our college today, to see how it has changed and what it offers current and future generations of Dickinsonians. I encourage you to take a close look at your college, to talk to those students, faculty, and staff who are here this weekend. In some very fundamental and gratifying ways, Dickinson is still recognizable as the college we attended. But in some very defining ways, it is not the same college you and I attended, nor should it be. The mark of a truly great college is that it becomes better with every generation, a progression that is applauded, supported, and inspired by its alumni. The rising excellence and high profile of our alma mater enhances the value of our own degree and enhances our self-worth as Dickinson is part of our definition forever. By that measure, it is one of the soundest engagements and investments each of us has ever made. What you will find at Dickinson today, I believe, is a college that has enthusiastically assumed a robust public profile. While appropriately modest about achievement in keeping with our historic personality, but not so modest that we do not let the world know about what we are doing, we are no longer satisfied to be known vaguely as that little gem, that secret of a college in central Pennsylvania. There is at Dickinson today absolutely no feeling of inadequacy or being second-rate. Those days are over. Most alums of a certain generation know precisely what I am talking about. Additionally, and best of all, we are seldom these days confused with barely Dickinson, fairly Dickinson. Confident in our historic legacy and resolute in our purpose to provide a distinctive liberal arts education to our students, we are increasingly assuming a leadership position on national issues of great importance. We have stood firm and argued effectively to sustain our early decision admissions program despite the move of Harvard. In a particularly bold move, we recently joined 11 other colleges and universities to ask higher education institutions to refuse to complete the most objective portion of the U.S. News and World Report survey and to refrain from using these rankings in any marketing materials. Another sign of collegial engagement to achieve excellence, Dickinson recently joined with Middlebury, Smith, and Barnard to pioneer nationally a new way of managing endowments. And finally, we are engaging a national issue locally, and that is downtown revitalization. Dickinson has launched the High I, an endeavor in which we will cooperate with Carlisle organizations and their leadership to advance the appeal and functionality of High Street and parts of Hanover. And next week, Dickinson will also be positioned among the leading higher education institutions. When I signed the American College and University President's Climate Commitment in Congress that seeks to address global warming by reducing and ultimately neutralizing gas emissions on campuses across the country. Dickinson is one of 30 colleges and universities that belong to the Commitment's Leadership Circle. To fulfill our commitment, Dickinson engages comprehensive sustainability efforts in and out of the classroom. For example, we are the leader among liberal arts colleges in Pennsylvania in terms of use of wind power, and we are soon launching into a much more substantial use of solar power. We have a burgeoning biodiesel industry on campus staffed by students, faculty, and college operation employees. This energy source powers our fleet and maintenance vehicles. And by the way, a good part of the fat we use for the production of biodiesel is given to us from the kitchens of Gettysburg College. It's for French fries. They don't know what to do with it down there. Right? Oh, it's true. We have a whole fleet of large red bicycles that may be borrowed by any member of our community. We have just opened a large organic farm in Boiling Springs that will supply the hub and local food banks with organic foods and engage our students in curriculum-based research projects. And we now have the Green Devil, an off-color cousin of our Red Devil, inspiring us to live in a sustainable manner. The ability to assert leadership in these critical areas comes from newfound confidence and a clear sense of institutional identity. We have closely examined the vision and intentions of our founder, Dr. Rush, and it is he who gives direction to our leadership narrative. Just as our institutional identity has crystallized those unique qualities and habits of mind that distinguish us individually as Dickinsonians, just as institutional identity has crystallized, those unique qualities and habits of mind that distinguish us individually as Dickinsonians have also become more evident. Over the past year, we have begun to articulate more intentionally for our students and alumni those distinctive dispositions that each of us acquired through our Dickinson education. While our effort to better articulate these dispositions may be of recent origin, the qualities, like our institutional profile, are woven into the very fabric of a distinctively American liberal arts education handed down to us by Dr. Rush. Deeply rooted in our history, these qualities and habits of mind are shaped further by our present and serve as guideposts for our future. Very simply, these dispositions enjoin us to develop a global sensibility, that is to listen carefully and appreciate others, to engage the world near and far and make a difference, to seek connections among seemingly disparate ideas, to practice civility, and to strive for accountability and sustainability. The articulation of these dispositions has resonated remarkably well with our current students. I'm amazed and pleased to hear students refer to the dispositions in conversation every day. They are using them to construct linkages in and out of class activities. And this year's graduating seniors chose to focus on the importance of the dispositions in their baccalaureate ceremony. Your accomplishments as alumni also reflect these dispositions, and that is not lost on our current students. Through your achievements, you have modeled behavior and served as an inspiration to hundreds of young Dickinsonians. These shared values, qualities, and outlook bind us into an intergenerational global network of individuals who are committed to leave the world a better place than we found it. Fully articulating these dispositions has also given our college an unprecedented confidence and momentum that is reflected in virtually every measure. This year, for example, we attracted a record number of applications, 5,840 to be exact, from highly qualified prospective students who sought the opportunity to call themselves Dickinsonians. Only 12 or so liberal arts colleges have more than 5,000 applications. For the majority of these outstanding students, Dickinson is their first choice. As I mentioned earlier, this is not the college you and I attended. In fact, when I returned to Dickinson 8 years ago, these numbers were less than half of what they are today. Make no mistake, Dickinson is on a roll and thus increasingly profiled among the best and most enterprising colleges and universities in the country. We are now known nationally as a college with abundant energy, attitude, and temperament, the defining personal qualities, in fact, of our founder, Dr. Rush. We have now a place and a voice at the table in American higher education. As we officially open the 2007 Alumni Weekend, I invite you to have a wonderful time over the next 2 days. I hope you'll reconnect with old friends and establish new ones. I hope that you will spend time with your classmates, challenging your memories, as a matter of fact, remembering, and establishing new ones right here this weekend. But I also ask that you spend some time reflecting. Take a few moments, as our graduating seniors did at baccalaureate, to identify those turning points in your Dickinson education, when the dispositions began to take shape. Spend some time thinking about how those dispositions have given your life direction and meaning. Revel in the fact that you are a member of a highly selective and global network of individuals who share these habits of mind and who individually and collectively make a difference. And then spend a few more moments projecting into the future. Think of the generations of Dickinsonians yet to come, those individuals who will join our global network and become the leaders of the complex and challenging world of the 21st century. Their future is our shared responsibility. As alumni, we must never forget that we have a lifelong obligation to advance our college, the place and the community that gave us a lifetime of accomplishment, fulfillment, and the friendships we see here today. We must join the chorus of voices who speak so highly of a Dickinson liberal arts education. We must creatively seek ways to elevate the profile of our alma mater. We must follow the example of those loyal employees, some of whom are young, who have personally stretched to make a financial contribution to secure Dickinson's future. We are our own caretaker. We control our own reputation. This weekend, let us celebrate the momentum and vibrancy that exists at our college today, even the sense of humor that is here. Let us take pride in our alma mater's confidence and clear sense of identity. And let us never forget that as alumni, we are finally in a position to work together to ensure that our college fulfills the destiny set forth by our founder, Dr. Rush, to be, and I quote, first in America for all the right reasons. Please enjoy the weekend. Thank you.